follow this system and this process, and here's our tools, and we're going to walk you right down this path. Goodman and Amana has taken a completely different approach. They've said is you're going to be your own unique contractor, and we've got a variety of tools available to be able to help and support you. So that's great because we can have a wide audience of contractors that we can go talk to, and we have a wide variety of tools and solutions available that they can take advantage of. But it also means we have to be just that much better than a Linux TSM or a carrier TSM or a train TSM, because we're going to have to ask the questions, we're going to have to seek to understand, and then we might have to go do a little bit of homework and research to come back with the right solutions for them. So there is a huge difference between a Goodman and Amana TSM versus that Linux carrier and train. And it just means you guys are a little bit better. And so we're going to switch gears now. We've talked enough about sales presentation software and tools. Did you guys enjoy the tour?
Yeah, that's good.
And now we're going to start talking about websites. Because you know what? In the 90s, it was great. All I had to do was go buy a yellow page app and life was great. It was wonderful, but things have changed a little bit. And again, just like we talked about financing, and we've talked about all of these presentation tools, there's a lot of HVAC contractors that still really don't understand digital presence and what it is they're trying to do there. So I'm going to turn it over here to Jennifer.
Sweet. How you guys doing?
Good.
We're not tired from lunch, right?
We will be.
All right, let's keep it moving. How many of you guys have heard me speak before? Yes? Thoughts out of the gate. What'd you learn? Anything eye-opening you'd want to share?
Just again, how important it is to have that web presence and be on top of it. You need to constantly refreshing it, keeping up with it. You can't just set it up and leave it.
Perfect. What else?
Can't get your little brother to build it.
No friends, family, fools, little brothers, felons, fast, free, right. What else?
Google made some changes, and so you advised us on how to, I guess, work with those changes.
Absolutely. Every website that was done prior to beginning of 2018 is now deceased, technically. Doesn't work the same way. Perfect. What else? Go for it.
No, just that, what was relevant or useful 6 months ago may not be today in terms of online presence.
Perfect. How many of you have heard me speak more than once? Were the topics slightly different?
No.
Same? Would you like a completely different topic?
No.
Let's go for it. So here's the deal, you guys. We have spent the past half a decade working with you guys, working with your dealers, and really understanding them. I think one of the things that I brought up last year that was really important is that we understand that these guys are entrepreneurs. The nuts and bolts of being an entrepreneur means at some point I sat down with my spouse and I put everything on the table and I said, I can do it better. We can start our own company. It's okay to quit our full-time job and our benefits and our normal paychecks. And it's okay for me to rank up my credit cards and put in every ounce of cash that I can possibly pull out for this dream of having more time, money, and freedom. That's effectively what these guys want. Do they feel like they have more time, money, and freedom?
Some of them might.
Some might. I have only met a couple. Only a couple that have been able to pull themselves out of the business and enjoy life. And they're the ones that made the right decisions in the right order at the right time. And if they failed fast, learned from it, and then they recouped and started moving on quickly. The other things that we've learned in our industry, in a digital marketing industry, there's no doubt that the stuff is complicated. You're dealing with the giant, Google. You're dealing with giants, technology makers, wearable devices, AI devices, Google Home and Alexa, computers you can talk to, devices that control your entire house, can order your pizza or book your flight tickets, or find you a new air conditioning contractor with the best reviews in Dubuque, Iowa. Between Google's changes, technology devices, humans, being completely sucked in. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all sucked into their technology devices right now. I don't mind you for that. But humans are sucked into, it's okay, take pictures, get this side, record, Facebook. As humans adopt these devices and they change their behaviors, how they function, how they think, how they search, how they research, subconsciously they make decisions because of things like these cute little stars, whether they're there or not. It's complicated for a small business owner to be able to make progress and stay relevant in today's environment, especially when websites and all this technology stuff is so far out of their knowledge base, what they've studied. Running a business isn't even what they've studied most of the time. They know HVAC, possibly plumbing, maybe a little electrical, possibly a little ventilation. So, what I've noticed, let me go back, that we've done wrong. CI Web Group has done wrong. We've tried to make them meet us where we are. And we've learned better. As a company, we got to meet them where they are. Our motto and our goal this year, and what we've been working on for the last 9 months, is a new way to engage the dealers with one promising goal, one motto statement, one mission, and that is we need to jointly make it easy for them to make progress. How many of you have heard me talk about the 12-step roadmap? Okay, we're going to start with step 1. This is a more advanced class, and what we're going to learn is how to break it down and make it easier, just to start with the basics. Sound all right? Okay. So, I don't have to cover this too much. You guys all agree that when somebody needs something, you Google it. Is that fair? Okay. When you Google it, do you guys, oh, you know what? Let me get out of this. I'm going to pull up a different slide because I want you to see something different. When you guys Google something, do you guys click on the ads? Okay. Do you click on the maps?
I do if they don't sell good.
Okay. Are you trying to charge them $40 a pop? I got it. I know how that goes. How many of you click on the first page of Google, organic results, right under the map? Okay. If you find a website and it looks bad, do you go back? You go look for something different? Okay. If you find a website on the first page of Google and it looks good, do you go check out the reviews before you make the call? Okay. So doing business is as simple as this. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? That is air conditioner installation, heater installation, furnace installation, heat pump installation, AC installation, AC replacement, AC service, AC maintenance, AC tune-up, and so forth. What do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell it? That's the city my office is and the cities that I'm willing to drive to. Am I an option? Where people are looking, which is on what? Google. And do you look good when they get there? That's really all marketing is. It's that simple. So, what we need to teach these guys or get them to understand is in the old school environment of marketing, McDonald's took these giant arches and they put them at the edge of what? So people would see their store. At the edge of a road. What else? You're driving down the what, and what do you see? Freeways. They put them on the exit ramps, right? Because that's where people were. What do you want to sell? Burgers. Where do you want to sell it? Wherever my locations are. Are you an option where people are, where they're looking? Yeah, off the freeway. And do you look good when they get there? That depends on what state you're in. So, these guys, we need to get them started with step 1. Do they have a store that I would even walk in? Now, people aren't going to stores. You guys are ordering your things on Amazon. How many of you are now ordering your groceries, or your wife is? Any deliveries? Okay. All that's happening is consumers are getting, I don't want to say lazier, I'm going to say more efficient. they're getting more efficient. They're not going to the store. Some might disagree, but I'm going to take that route. Right now, the store exists in one area. It's online. And your store is your website. A store with no products can sell what? Nothing. Right? So when you guys explain it, we're going to make it easy to make progress. Your website is your store. How does it look? The content or the pages on your website are the products. What do you want to sell? Marketing brings the traffic. Marketing brings people who are looking for what you want to sell. And it takes your store and it puts it at the front of Google where people are looking. Congratulations, you're now an option for the things you want to sell in the cities you want to sell. I mean, you guys aren't begging for orders, you get them because they're there. We spend so much time training dealers on product and this and that and everything else. The bottom line is, they're like, if you just make my phone call, I can wing the rest. If you make my phone ring, I can get the rest. I can call you when I'm stuck. They need to have their phones ringing. That doesn't happen if they're not an option for the things they want to sell. So, website is first. Content, that's their products and services. When you go look at your dealer's website, if you see something that says, about us, that's a junk drawer. It's not going to get you anywhere. If you see something that says, air conditioning, that's an action. And it can work in a car, or a house, or a building. All of the content, the pages on their site, if they're not specifically geared towards what a consumer is looking for, Google can't file them somewhere where people are going to find them. So if you guys are looking for, anyone is looking for, air conditioner installation in, where do you live? City do you live in?
Snow Hill.
Huh?
Snow Hill.
I thought you said something else. Want to repeat? So if I was looking for air conditioner installation in Snow Hill or furnace installation in Snow Hill, what state is that in?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So if I was looking for furnace installation in North Carolina, Snow Hill, North Carolina, do I have a page on my site that contains that singular product so Google can put it in the right drawer so someone can find it? Anything you guys want to sell, we can make it happen. But not if the store is all broken junk or they don't have one. And not if they don't have any products in the store, no content. So we just need to start there. Does that make sense? Think a dealer can resonate with that? Okay. Your store and the pages in your store, i.e. your website and the content on your website, needs to go into a filing system, which is where people are searching. That's on Google. Google's just a giant filing system. So if I give Google or a receptionist a piece of paper that says, our services, what drawer is it going to go in? Our services. Anybody have a computer open with Google on it? Google, our services, someone that has it open. Okay, and we'll come back to it. Okay, what if someone has something on there that says air conditioners? What drawer is it going to go in? Air conditioners. Someone else Google air conditioners on a computer.
Healthcare and sex education.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, our services. Perfect. There we go. Not the right drawer. Google's deaf and blind. It reads Braille. You have to tell it where you want it to put something. And you've only got 40 to 60 characters to do so. You have to put a label on your products, i.e. your content on your website, each page, that Google can go, oh, put it in that drawer for furnace installation in Snowden, North Carolina. Make sense? Okay. Marketing.
Check out these pictures.
No, Siri. You hear that? They are spying, you know that. I didn't summon Siri. So, that's what I mean. So, all marketing is that file cabinet. If you have a store, a good website, and you have content for the products you want to sell in the cities you want to sell them, that's awesome. But without marketing, you're going to sit in the bottom drawer, which is where, what's in there? Everything. Marketing is what makes your pages popular enough to move up to the top of the drawer. Once they're in the top of the drawer, i.e. page 1 where you guys all convert, now you're an option for the things you want to sell in the cities you want to sell them, where people are looking, and now you can convert new business. Simple enough? If we can all speak the same language, if we can say the same things, the dealers actually do start picking up that language and speaking the same way. We have dealers that call in and they're like, I want to put new products in my store because they've heard it so much. They're like, I'm ready. What's next? So, what happened last year? We did 3,037 strategic evaluations, digital evaluations. That's you guys and the dealers asking for us to evaluate their entire business online. 3,337. And 112 moved forward. That didn't work like I thought it would. So in my view last year, if we provided data in a format that you guys could access and that the dealers could access, that data would give them information necessary to make a different decision. That did not work. So this year we're going to do it different again. And we're going to keep tweaking it until we can get these dealers to make progress in their business. Is that fair? We're going to start with just the store and the products this year. Just that. And we're going to make it easy for them to pop up, we're going to go manufactured home style, a new store that looks great and is constructed to perform out of the gate. We're going to make sure their website can go live quickly, that they can get into it inexpensively, and that it's pre-built so that it works. It's effective. They don't have to think about what needs to go into it to make it happen. We're going to save them the money on the design and development side of the business so that they can either buy or write content and afford marketing, which is let's put the products in the store and let's drive real people to the store so we can sell more products. Make sense? So, you guys are familiar with these sites, ciwebbgroup.com/Goodman, Franklin, Dykeland, Franklin PLP, and so forth. All of these now have a 12-step roadmap on it where you can click on step 1 and it will take you over to HVAC marketing websites, which is yours. This is your sales tool. On that site, what we've done is spend the last 6 to 9 months building the store, perfecting the store. For a single dealer, a one-person shop, we've got a landing page pre-configured to look like a big giant website, even though it's just a single page that looks really good. The dealer can get into that for $500. So the day they start their business, $500, they pay $50 a month for support and backups and maintenance and so forth. But for $500, they look good. They look professional. They don't look scary like a DIY project online. Your small dealers who just start their business, they're hoofing it. They're building their business by contacting friends and family and church and going to B&I groups and networking groups and chamber meetings, and they're doing what small business owners do to grow their business, hopefully. Calling friends. And a lot of that work they put into it, they simply lose because they don't have a business. In fact, they don't have a website online. They have a business card with a Yahoo or Hotmail email address and their phone number and a logo they had their son make. So what we want to do is out of the gate, the one-person shop, I want them to start professional. A professional logo designed, a landing page that professionally represents your business. Let's get you an email that actually is at a domain name so that looks professional, and let's put your best foot forward right out of the gate. Do you guys have dealers that are one-person shops that need that? Raise your hand if that's a yes. Okay, perfect. Next, we built a full marketing site. There's basic and there's advanced. It's the exact same site, exactly the same. The only difference is is if you're dealing with a dealer that already has a website with a whole bunch of content on there, we're going to have a lot more work to transfer all of that content because we don't want them to lose anything they already have. They might have a bad engine, but the content on their site, those products and services are legit. So we want to keep those and bring them over to a good engine, a good store, a new website. So the difference in between these is nothing other than what are they coming to the table with. Let me just get out of here and let's go look at the sites because that'll make it a lot easier to see. So I'm going to go to HVAC marketing websites. And as soon as you get here, I'm going to hover over website plans. And every one of your brands has the 4 options available. Landing pages for the dealer that has nothing. Just getting started. Let's get him in a landing page. Let's get him a logo. That includes his logo design, that includes his landing page, and let's make sure he has an email account. We'll recommend an email service for him to sign up with. Bless you. For a mid-tier dealer that already has a website, but maybe it's old, not effective, and so forth, he can get into either the basic or advanced. And we have an interesting program so that anybody can get into one of those sites called a lease to own. They pay $175 a month. That covers their website, hosting, maintenance, CRM system, all their content transfer, and they pay it forever, and they get a brand new website every 24 months, so they never have to come out of pocket with a giant upfront fee, and they don't have to live in a website that's out of compliance or date because Google made changes. Make sense? Yes, sir.
That's a good topic. Yeah, if I'm a contractor, I work for you guys, do I own my website or do you own the website?
It depends. It's up to you. So you can do a lease to own. You can either pay for the website up front,
But
and
if I don't do that, you guys own the website.
what a dealer needs to make sure they own is their content. Websites only last, the code and the design lasts forever, but the code behind a website only lasts 18 to 24 months. It's a hunk of junk anyway most of the time. It's outdated when it goes live typically. So what you need to make sure you own, or dealers need to make sure they own, they have to own their domain name. That's their brand and their business and everything. Don't let a web company buy it. And they have to own their content. That is their products and services, the physical asset that will take them through different sites over time. Yes, sir?
How about third-party utilization?
Meaning?
Meaning third-party links that put cookies on sites or things like that during the backlinking process.
So let me come back to link building when we get into the marketing pieces, because that's going to be more search engine optimization. The way our program works, the 12-step roadmap, and you guys are going to have to face questions like this. I'm going to use this as an example. Let me say this the best way I know how. ADD is prevalent in the entrepreneurial environment. Okay, those of you who have some can feel me. What I mean by that is it's really easy to bounce around. What you guys have to do with these dealers is control the conversation and the environment and follow the plan. So what I mean by that is the 12-step program, if you do any of these things out of order, you lose. So if I go link building and do SEO on a broken down website, you lose. If I spend money on pay-per-click and the website looks like a DIY project, you lose. If I spend money on SEO and get you on page 1 of Google for 200 pages on your website for products and services in various cities, and your reviews look like trash, you lose. So it's gonna feel natural because dealers have been through lots of presentations and meetings. They've listened to some teach them how to tweet. Next thing you know, they think they need to be doing Twitter right now. No. Bring them home. We're gonna fix the engine first. What's wrong right now is every dealer across the nation is sitting in an engine, a store that's all broken junk. The websites we built a year ago are trash, even for your dealers. We had to rebuild 100% of the websites we built for your dealers over the last 4 months because of those Google changes we talked about last year. A lot of coffee. And I just learned Monster has a latte version, which I love, guys, huh? So that would have worked well. So the websites is the hard part. If you're spending money on marketing and the website is junk, you lose. You're going to wonder why you're not making progress. Remember the motto is, we're going to make it easy to make progress. We're going to make it easy to make progress. So let me go back here. Here's the, if a dealer comes to the table and they have nothing, I mean, they have a website, they know it's garbage, their content isn't great, they don't have a lot of money, or let's say they've got $3,000 in accrual funds right now, okay? Last year's environment, we would have gave them a proposal for $3,000 for a website. And they would have still had no content and no marketing. This year, we're gonna bootstrap it, make it easy to make progress. They could lease a website. The website is a necessary evil. It has to be done. It's $175. They don't spend all their accrual money on a website. They get a brand new website every 18 to 24 months, which they have to have anyway. Take the $3,000, get 20 pages of content for 20 services you guys want to sell in a couple of cities, and optimize it and get those pages to start making the dealer money so they can sell more boxes, so they can earn more accruals and do the next step later. Keep the cost of the website as low as possible because they need the content. If you have a website and no content, you have nothing. If you have a website and content, you have the option to do something. Then we can start marketing. But you can't market something that doesn't exist. So if your store's garbage, it doesn't exist. You can't market something that's ugly. If the content is not there or bad, I can't market something Google can't see. We have to get those two things in place first. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's go look at what they get. So I'm going to go look at,
Jennifer,
yes, sir?
does Google continually move the goal line? So when everybody starts getting closer, they change the rules again so that...
No, and I understand why people would feel that, and that could create some hatred. So, no, what it's doing is Google's job is to service humans that are looking for the best. So it's modifying the algorithm because there's a whole bunch of scam artists that have no clue what they're doing and try and trick the system.
So then there's more to learn how to trick the system, they change the rules to...
Yeah, every one of these rookie web companies, I get to interview a lot of developers and SEO people. And they are entertaining at best when they come in and they act like they got some secret. No, dude, sit down. You haven't done this. Whatever you think, if you think you're seriously smarter than Google and all of its resources, So there's a lot of them, a lot of kids, a lot of geniuses, smart tech guys. I have them in my family. I have cousins that are in that boat. They believe they're geniuses and that they can trick the system. So Google has to constantly be tweaking to make sure that they don't get in. I can tell you, if I went back 10 years ago, I built 150 websites with domain names that were exact match domains. So if somebody was looking for SEO marketing, I bought SEO marketing, and then I bought HVAC web design, and then I bought something else. And I had hundreds of them and put one-page websites on there, and that used to work. Then Google was like, no. All the websites fell off the table in 24 hours. You can't trick Google. So that's Google's primary objective. The second objective is there's a lot of hackers. So you were talking about backlinking.
Yeah.
There are tremendous amount of companies. I'll give you the best one everyone might know is Viagra. So the Viagra marketing teams will scam any website to try and put backlinks on a popular website for their own business. So Google has to prevent from stuff like that too, because that's tricky marketers. So hackers, black hat marketers, people trying to trick the system, and the fact that consumers want things differently. They want information presented differently. If you are typing in Google air conditioner installation in blank, that's very different than if I say, hey Siri, what's the best air conditioner installation company in Tomball, Texas with the best reviews? That's a different query. So now that you guys are talking to things, Google has to make changes to keep up with that. That's where we are in HVAC, is we're talking about the fact that, yes, people have been talking to their devices for a while now. In my industry, we're talking about wearables. We're talking about augmented reality. We're talking about artificial intelligence, where you put on a set of goggles and you walk into a restoration website and there's fire and you can see it around you. So we need to catch the dealers up to what people are already doing. Yes, they use cell phones, and yes, they talk to devices, and that's what Google's trying to keep up with. Make sense? All right. So here is a sample of the website that a dealer can get into and get live in less than 30 days for as little as $175 a month. Okay, inside this website, what we've done, we've pre-built the website with all of the pages we know your dealers need but don't have. On every one of the pages, we can't put content on there because content has to be unique on every page for Google to read it and them not get penalized. What we can put on is pictures, video, pictures of products. So this is making it easy to make progress. We already know the dealers are going to come in with a bad website and they're not going to have much content at all, most of them. In fact, 337 versus 112 that came in with something, right? So we can use your assets. You guys have in your portal, you've got all these great assets that you want dealers to use, but I think as Marty said, dealers don't log in, Amana dealer, to get the portal to grab all the assets. So what we did is we did it for them. So we went in, and on every single page, the related assets, whether it's your pictures or your graphics or a product or something, every page has something on it. So immediately when we launch the website, if the dealer doesn't have the budget or the means to be able to buy or write 100 pages of content, that's fine. They have a website right out of the gate that consumers have the ability to see all the services they offer. Even if it's not completely filled with content, the service is there. People aren't reading 500 words on a page. That's for Google, not for humans, especially not in HVAC. So they can pop this website up quickly with their logo, their colors, their brand, their promotional graphics, the content they do have. And then over time, you guys can help coach them that if they have $100, if they have $300, if they have $500, buy 5 more pages of content. Let's put 5 more products we want to sell in your store so that we can start getting you some phone calls for something like heat pump installation or ductless air conditioner installation or ductless heater installation or furnace installation or gas furnace replacement or electric furnace replacement. Whatever they can sell in their area, let's get it in the store so that we can get the dealer found and get phone calls to start coming in. Make sense? Inside this site, everything that they need is already pre-built in the site. All their air conditioning pages, their heating pages, their heat pump pages, ductless, other services in case they do electrical or plumbing. It just shows if they want to add that they can. Who they serve, these will be changed depending on what they tell us they do. Promotions by season, a financing page, whether they do financing or not, it's going to be up there with the form. So if they don't do it, they'll know they need to when the form gets filled out. People inquire about it. Maintenance. And in addition to that, we built a section on the site, which is a recruiting section for jobs. We try and get dealers to provide us with job descriptions because they say one of their biggest issues when their marketing works, they can't hire more people. That didn't work, so we fixed that. Now we have a job board and we have job descriptions, at least already in the system for all the jobs that they'll need to hire for over time. So they can start recruiting, gathering resumes, and as the marketing efforts work, as they make progress, they can also be recruiting for labor and staff. Make sense? Right on. So there is layouts for Amana, Goodman, Daikin, Franklin, and private label. The lease to own option works on any of those sites, or they can just simply pay a one-time investment and a small monthly fee. If they can get into a website and order 10 pages of content, we can get them ranked. Here's what this looks like. I'm going to show you a site. This is Barron Heating, which is one of my favorite clients. They're outside of Ferndale, Washington, on Canada border. They listen, they learn, they implement, they do anything that we recommend, and they are the most pleasurable to work with. And they're growing because of it. They've grown so much that we've had to turn off their pay-per-click, we've had to turn off their CRM system. We couldn't allow people to schedule appointments online. They had to pause until they restaff, retrain, and ramped up again. Now, when you search for a site with the word site : and you put the website address there, no W's, what it's going to do is Google's going to show you what that website has in it. That's the total number of pages on Barron's website. I'll tell you this, a dealer that has 500 pages or 600 pages is probably doing 10 million or more in gross sales. A dealer that has 5 pages is definitely doing less than $500,000 in sales. So if you guys are trying to target dealers that are growing, can grow, that number is a key performance indicator for you guys to identify where the dealers are. Unless they're heavy commercial or all commercial, that number is going to tell you if it's a big, small, or medium dealer. No content, no products, no go. Make sense? It's,
How many pages they appear on all of the internet?
that's how many pages Google has indexed. So, now the quality of that, the variables, what might change that is what do the page say? So you're going to see right out of the gate, we learned quick that when marketing works, we got to recruit. And because marketing has worked so well for them, they're doing all the right things and they've done it in all the right order. I love this company. They've got to recruit in a lot of cities because when we built this site, we told them, we want you to go after anything you're willing to drive to. So every time you guys go do a job, we want you guys to check in and show us that you did work there. And when you get done with the job, we want you to show us that you did reviews. If you don't know Washington State, I'll just tell you, this is the Canada border. Their office is right here. They completely own the market all the way to the airport, which is on the south side of Seattle. They're almost to Tacoma. Tacoma is only an hour away from Oregon. These guys cover almost an entire west side of an entire state, and they own it. They do business on all of the islands. They do business in every major city and all of the small towns surrounding them because they followed the plan. Okay? So, Google is a giant what? Filing cabinet. And pages go into that filing cabinet based on what they're titled. So if you want to sell more furnaces in blank, I don't care what city, this happens to be an island in the San Juans, it requires a ferry to get there, you can't drive. If they want to sell more systems there, we need a page about that city and about the services they sell. I don't want them to have to buy content or write content for air conditioning and heating in every single city they want. So we use something called check-ins, which is you tell us when you do the work, and reviews every time you do the work, so that we have technically free content, lots of stars, a new page in a new city so you can sell more air conditioners and furnaces and heaters on an island. You don't have an office. If somebody wants to do business somewhere and you go look in their store and nothing's there, so if one of your dealers calls and they're like, I don't like my web company, I'm not selling any furnaces, and you go look on their site and there's no pages that say furnaces, they'll tell them you don't sell furnaces. Right now, you don't sell furnaces. Not something you offer. It's not in your store. Oh. That makes sense? Okay. Again, the website is a necessary evil. I'm saying it. Okay. Here's what's happened year over year over year. If a website costs them $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to design and develop a website, we're not even talking about including content. You guys know what they have in their accrual funds. That's going to wipe out most of their accrual funds, right? Then what do they have for content? If accrual fund deadlines are in March, and if a custom website takes 90 days to get done, what happens to the dealer in June and July? They what? They disappear. Why do they disappear? June, July, August, September. They're busy. So if they're trying to build a store custom from scratch, like building a car custom from scratch or a house custom from scratch, and custom takes 90 days. And they don't start those projects until March because they're going to wait until the last minute because you guys remind them they have funds, they need to use them, and so forth. And then it's going to get warm, and then they're going to disappear. Their website will go live how many months later? 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. How long did I say a website lasts, the technology? 18 to 24 months. So what did you just do to your investment? You blew half of it. It doesn't make sense in this industry. I would love for them to all have beautiful custom sites, and we can absolutely do that for the ones that can dedicate their time to the process, but that's not reality for the majority of the dealers. So we need to give them another option. Yes?
So Barry, what are they paying to be the size of site they are and the pages that they have?
So
That's a lot of work.
it is a lot of work, but it didn't happen overnight. So when we first got Barron, they had a junky website, and that was not part of how they built business. So the first thing they did is they bought a custom website. It took 9 months to build it, and that's because it was a labor of love, I'll say that. And then it was building the content. So they were already in between all of the content and the website about $7-8 grand right out of the gate. Then we added in the CRM and online scheduling system, so their monthly investment started at around $180. That's hosting and maintenance in their monthlies. Then later they added local listings, which is step 4. I'll show you how local listings works real quick. Local listings by itself is $300 a month. Let me pull up just Barron. Okay. So they added local listings, and they added 3 locations. They have 3 offices. So they were $900 a month for local directories. We set up 211 directories. Directories are not your website. This is Google Business Listing, Alexa, Google Home, Siri, Bixby, MapQuest, Yahoo, Bing. Those are all directories. So for 3 locations, we set up 211 directories. We published so far 5,110 pieces of content out to those directories to start getting traffic. When we got them, they were what we call DOA, dead on arrival, which every dealer is, even if they're paying one of the top agencies to do local marketing. By publishing all that content for Barron's, just for local listings, not including their website, we've generated 6,335 calls, 7,000 clicks to their website, 2,000 get directions requests, 123,000 views, 5.3 thousand listings requests.
In what time frame?
That was from they started, so that's August of last year. The largest number of calls that we got for them was in 1 hour. This was last week. And at 10 o'clock in the morning, we generated 193 calls only from local listings. Okay?
Yeah.
So, out of all the dealers, yes, sir.
So, I've read a lot lately about how mobile optimization is now more important than static site optimization because the traffic is no longer predominantly here. It's on a watch. It's on
Yeah.
a phone. And this mobile first indexing needs to really be a priority.
Yes. That starts with number 1, Google. Oh, so real quick, just on that,
Yeah.
websites used to be built a year ago on something that was called mobile responsive. In the beginning of 2018, they created a new requirement for websites, which was called mobile first, which required PHP 7 instead of 6, WordPress 5.0 instead of 4.8, a new server, entirely new code. So earlier when I was saying that all of the websites we built a year ago are now deceased, that's why. because of the mobile first requirement in the local industry, with local directories. I'll show you this really quick because this follows your guidance. Local sites, like all the ones I just referred to before, now include AI, Siri, Google Home, Alexa, Bixby, something else, one other one. We just started and had the ability to be able to connect to those this last year as a part of the mobile first requirement. This number, this is for you guys. You guys have 141 dealers across the United States, those are all their locations, that are participating in our local directories, which is only step number 4, $300 a month. 141 dealers. We've created 8,879 directories. We've published 158,000 pieces of content to be able to get them traffic. We've suppressed 1,900 duplicates, which means you're trying to steal your buddy's listing and take their phone calls. For those 141 dealers, this month was the first month we hit 1,020 phone calls at 9 o'clock in the morning. That was this last week. We've never hit 1,000. And this right here is what you were talking about. This is the first time this year 17,000 of the device requests were mobile and AI. Over desktop was 12,000. Last year they were about half and half. So part of the reason we've rebuilt all your dealers' websites, and quite frankly, your dealers don't even know we did it. We tried to reach them. We tried to have strategy sessions. We sent them notes. We told them it was coming. We did a big 911 call through Goodman telling them, this is huge. We all need to pay attention. No, nothing. So we just quietly behind the scenes revamped all their websites, redesigned them, redeveloped them, revamped them, went live. Only 2 even noticed. I'm not going to say how unsatisfying that is. We'll just call it a day and say that it's the right thing to do. So much lost sleep. So, that's mobile. We had to do it. I mean, we report to you guys. We're accountable. Most digital marketing agencies don't have to report to anybody than their client, and their client doesn't know any better. So, does that answer where you were headed? Okay, and I'm sorry to predict the ending. Okay, so that's a really good question. Yes, it's a really good question. They don't even know, they're like, well, I don't think I get calls from my marketing. Well, what else are you doing? Well, I don't know. Did your phone ring? Yes, well, I can tell it rang 1,600 times last month. They're like, yeah, but they'll say, well, I think it was from Yelp and Google, and it's not from what you're doing. It's recorded in my numbers. We kind of worked hard on that. Yes. All right, so let me explain really quick. For example, on any of those branded websites, the Goodman, Amana, Franklin PLP, and so forth websites, if they sign up for one of those, we want it to be easy peasy. We're going to host the website, maintain it. We're going to make sure that it's secure. They actually have an SSL certificate. 90% of the dealers you guys have don't even have a secure website. In fact, there's a giant little thing in the left corner that says, this site is not secure. You should not fill out any forms. I don't know how to even. Okay, so we're going to make sure it's secure, that it's on a content distribution network, that we actually have backups. Yesterday, we got 3 calls from people that were trying to do their own websites. Their websites is gone because they unplugged or because they installed a plugin and destroyed their website, and they can't get it back. That was one of Kathy's calls yesterday. We don't give them access to hurt themselves. So if they ever say, I don't have admin access to install a plugin that Vladimir built, nope. You can send it to us and we'll do it for you. So more of a red carpet treatment, but we don't want them to hurt themselves. They get a CRM system and a new website every 2 years. That's the big one. They don't have to ask us. We don't have to ask them. They're going to get a new website either every 2 years, or if we have to. If Google says there's a huge change, we're going to rebuild them regardless, and we never have to go through this again.
That's included in the cost.
Included. Yeah, it took almost as much labor to try and get a hold of the dealers to get them to say yes to us doing free work for them as it took to do the work. It was close. All right. It also includes a CRM system. Let me pause on this. Here's something that I noticed I did wrong last year. I set the bar low. For those of you that's heard me speak, what I would come in and I would talk about is, have you ever hired a triple F to build your website? Friends, family, fools, felons, free, fast, right, all these things. That's what I used to say. And I had to have a meeting with myself and go, that wasn't real smart. All you told him is not to hire the worst. So I'll take that. I own that. So let's talk about the best. These are the 5 best digital marketing agencies there are in the United States and Canada. That's the list. We, as a group, we own the majority of all your page 1 rankings. And if we don't own it, that's because we don't have a client in your neighborhood. But if some local guy or another agency is working on somebody's site and we do get a client in their neighborhood, I could say bye-bye. The site's going down and we're taking over the spot. That's what happens with the best. We own the listings. If you're looking for a dealer, let me show you a sample. We did this as we're testing things.
Now those top 5, is that your opinion, or is that based on?
It's what agencies own the majority of page 1 results online for HVAC.
Okay.
That's it.
There's a number you could fix if you wanted to.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we do that because I call my cousin and I say, hey, write a script that shows for this search term what the site, website designed by, says at the bottom of those sites. Those are the best agencies. And I mean, we do competitor research. We know who we have to beat. Those agencies, when you get to the best of the best of the best, all we're doing is fighting for the same spot. There's only one place for page 1, number 1, for that term. So we did this. This is one of our testing things. There's not oil furnaces in Arizona, but as an example, if, let's say, Snow Hill, North Carolina. Let's say you have 10 dealers that all want to be found for furnace installation in that city. Okay? If we had all 10 of them and we agreed on, let's make sure they all have a page of content or more on their website that said furnace installation in Snow Hill, North Carolina. If somebody searched for furnace installation North Hill, North Carolina, now I don't even know, Snowden, Packer, Snow Hill, hi Jamal. Okay, so if somebody looked for that, we would quickly move out all of the competition, and that's our client. This is our client. This is our client, just went live. This is our client, this is our client, and this is our client, and this is our client. So, your dealers are notoriously thinking, do you have any other clients in my area? I might not want to work with you. No, you do. You should want to work with us if we have another client in your area. Because the reality is consumers have 10 choices no matter what on the first page of Google. But if we're taking care of those clients, we're not trying to hurt ourselves. Now, if these agencies all have one dealer in, for example, Jacksonville, Florida, which we do, we are only trying to destroy each other's property to get the first position. And that's the game we play.
So how do you determine?
Does that make sense?
You've got 2 dealers in Jacksonville. How do you?
2 dealers is easier because then we're stronger. We're coming in with more of a Mack truck if we have 2 of them. The consumer, so then it depends on a whole bunch of factors. It's a scorecard, right? It's, is this dealer, have you only been online for a year, but you've been online for 5? Do you have 100 pages on your website? You have 12. You only have 3 reviews, he's got 300.
It's a ranking that's out of your hands.
At that point,
Yeah.
it's fair game. Now it's the dealer's job.
Can you pay for it, even though he's the lesser of the two?
Some things you cannot pay for. So here's what you cannot buy. I can't buy the dealers delaying a decision to do this right.
No, I mean that.
That-
Here and there, on the webpage, 1, 2. Could 2 become number 1 just by buying more ads?
Okay, so let's cover that real quick. What you're referring to is paid advertising,
Anything.
which is
Make it
step,
number 1.
well, that's an ad. Okay, so let me ask you guys, if you were searching for this, raise your hand if you would click on one of these 3 ads and look around.
Nope.
Somebody, come on. Give me one.
Free.
I can't even force you into it.
The one says free.
Can't pull my black goth nails and say I'll scare you into it. Nothing. I just kidding. No one in here. How many of you would click on one of the listings on organics, not an ad? Raise your hand and look around. Okay, so can you pay for it? Yes. I believe there is, we manage pay-per-click and I know we give people business. I just don't know who those humans are that click on ads. I haven't met them. I assume, say this again?
And would they be listed again, or just on the ad? No.
So if you're talking pay-per-click, that's a different process. You don't technically even need content for that. You need a landing page to convert. But that's a different kind of human that clicks on those ads than is anybody in this room or any audience I speak at, and I've spoke to at least 60,000 people this last year. And no one says they click on ads. So it's got to be like some population that also, still shops on As Seen on TV and buys the knives that the handles fall off. So they are there. You what? Oh, shoot, sorry. You remind me. I know you don't shop on As Seen on TV. You're just, doing the competitor $40 a click. So, organically, what I'm looking at is I want to do things that are high leverage activities. High leverage activities means I want to get your dealers positioned to be an option for a service they want to sell in a city they want to sell it, where I know good quality, sharp people look, which is in the organic rankings, which means I have to master, in order to do that, step 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes.
How long did it take you to get there and from step 1 to where you want?
I love your questions, you guys. So, if I look,
How much pushing did it require?
Barron's was easy. Barron's, when I sat down with Barron's, I think Mike and I spent an hour with them, and 2 hours, and they had light bulb moment after light bulb moment after light bulb moment, and they committed to the process.
But they're
And,
big too, though, right?
but they what?
They are a big company.
They're a bigger company. They actually have somebody they can dedicate to marketing, okay? Which is the whole motto of let's make it easy for dealers to make progress. So let me answer that question first. If you look for furnace installation, Ferndale, Washington, this number right here is what's going to determine how long it's going to take if the dealer does what we tell them to. So for that, I know it's going to take 5.5 months. If I change Ferndale to Seattle, this number is now 8.7 million. In order for that dealer to win, they need to be in the top 10 of 8.7 million. That's going to take a while. So that's a fight we have, I'll say a debate, a pressurized pot that we have with dealers on a regular basis, which they want to go after Houston. And I have to carefully remind them 100% of nothing is nothing. And there's predecessors to Houston. We need to go after a town outside of Houston first. Let's make you some money, then add another city. Let's make you some money, then add another city. So your question of how long does it take depends on singularity. What do you want to sell, and what city do you want to sell it? Then I can tell you how long. Does that make sense? And you guys can tell as well. If you want to sell more boxes, you can find a search term. So if you want to sell heat pump installation in blank, and this number, watch. Okay, that's beautiful, right? Let me go.
One dealer.
Okay. So what does that mean? What do you guys see?
You really shrunk the filing cabinet.
Game on. If you want to put in ductless systems, and Ferndale, Kent, Burien, I know ductless works there because they have tiny houses, they have furnaces, they have basements, they have man caves, they have attics that you actually live in. It's an IT area, so there's a lot of coders and developers where garage is a living space. So that you could take over in a month without a lot of work, without a lot of money, without a lot of time. So if we're all strategic, if we partner up and say, let's take this to the bank, just this, show the dealers that it works, show your AM and your GM, boom, we own ductless in this city, or we own heat pump installation in this city, or we own electric gas or electric furnace replacement or gas furnace replacement in blank. And here's my numbers to show it. You guys are going to be able to advise your dealers instead of waiting until March when they're accrual fund. You're going to go back in, bring them in a room and say, hey, you guys, let's take over. Let's eliminate all our competition for this particular product in this particular city. We're all buying 5 pages of content each, and we're going to have them optimize those 5 pages, and let's kill it. Let's own this. And you guys are going to be able to go to a dealer that you want to recruit, and you're going to say, if you're not working with Goodman, and if you're not working with CI Web Group, and you don't follow the plan, good luck. Because we own it. And you can absolutely do that. Yes, sir.
Can you project the number of calls within some boundary?
No,
Can you separate replacement from service?
you have to. So this word, installation, that's one. Replacement, that's a different drawer. Remember, it's filing cabinet. Service, that's a different file cabinet. Change it to AC. That's a different filing cabinet. Close. If I get rid of ductless and I say AC service, that's a really different filing cabinet. When you guys, dealers are hiring agencies that don't, or they're hiring just a web person and thinking that's going to get them ranked, if they don't know HVAC, they will not understand. You guys have a very interesting business, and it's different for marketers.
So, sorry, that's your focus too, is HVAC, right?
Yeah, you guys pretty much own us. We didn't mean to be, but you do own us now.
So that's a benefit, not only just because you're skilled, but that's your singular focus, right?
Yeah. I think Lisa and Scott and Ben know that if they totally overwhelm us with HVAC, we'll never take on another client even when they ask. So yes. It's all that we do. We know this stuff inside and out. And I'll tell you, as a business owner, it was a hard decision for me to say, okay, let's commit to just this. And then when I saw the reality that my entire team is wicked smart when it relates to HVAC, they know numbers off the top of their head that they would never memorize if they had an attorney one day and a medical company another day and an entertainment agency another day and so forth, like we used to. They're sharp. Make sense? Okay. So here's what it boils down to with these guys. None of these people know any secret that anyone else does. We all do the same thing. We all advise the dealer the exact same thing. We all say your website is old, because they are. You don't have enough content, because they don't. Your local listings are DOA, dead on arrival, because that's real. Your SEO is not there. The only differences in between these companies is technically, what is the dealer willing to do? So is the dealer going to take our input? Are they going to invest in something that is permanent and progressive and provides compounding interest, progress for their business? Or are they going to try and go with advertising and burn through some cash on radio, pay-per-click, television, billboards, and everything else? Right. Okay. How well do they listen? How well do they learn? How much do they participate? How quickly do they make the right decisions? And in addition to that, are they working with one of the top 5 agencies? In addition, it's simply, outside of that, it's simply a scorecard. It's math, and the best agencies know how to manipulate it. It's a game, and it's all mathematical. If you have 600 pages and you have 4, you win. If you've been online for 12 years and you've been online for 1, you win. If you have 300 views and you have 5, he wins. If you have 3,000 good quality backlinks, you win. If you have bad backlinks but you have more, you lose. It's all math. All these little things is essentially the 12-step roadmap, and it's scorecard. And you win or lose based on math. So, when it comes to the different agencies, we need to get dealers to commit and stick to progress. Here's what happens. Last week, we had a dealer that's been with us for 5 years out of Oregon, and his business has grown. When we first got him, there was only 3 people. They were working out of his house. Now they have an office. They've got 17 trucks. They've got great team. Marketing guy comes in to help them with their content, and he says, you know what, we're not really making a lot of progress. Let's go move to another agency. So they picked one of those top 5. The top 5 said, yeah, you need all this stuff, but let's reprioritize it. Let's go after pay-per-click. So they dropped off the face of the planet. All the work we had done for the last 5 years in their local listings fell off. All their SEO work fell off. When in reality, if the dealer would have called us and said, hey, what's working? Let's do more of it. Let's invest more. Let's get more content. That's obviously worked. What's next? What am I not doing yet that I should be doing? And we would have advised what's next. What's not working? Can we move it to something that is? We would already told them we've done that without your approval. We already sent it to you. You didn't respond, so we did it anyway. Right? That's how that would have worked. But the dealer would have made progress because we wouldn't replace what our priorities were that's worked with something different and left this sitting. What happens is if you have a marketing plan with us today, and a year from now you don't do anything different, eventually we're going to max out what you have. Barron's is a good example. So let me pull up Barron. Who is this? Okay, so Barron. This report, let me make it bigger. This is their key phrases in their plan with us and their target city, and this is where they rank, what position they rank. If you stretch this out, this shows what page owns that rank. So if they want to sell electric furnace maintenance, Burlington, Washington, electric furnace inspections, Burlington, Washington, energy efficiency heater, Ferndale, Washington, air conditioner replacement, Ferndale, Washington, keep going, heat pump tune-up in Blaine, Washington, electric furnace service in Blaine, Washington, AC repair, Blaine, Washington, heater inspection, Blaine, go to Blaine, furnace, Ferndale, Bellingham, keep going. Okay, this is page 1 of 320. This is page 2 of 320 key phrases. This is page 3, so just giving you an idea, every page we have is already on page 1 of Google in position 1, 100%. Whatever they can make, they're getting. If they want to make more next year, they can't have the same plan. They would have to call us and say, we're ready to do more. And we're going to say, great, let's add more content for more services you want to sell and more cities you're willing to drive to. 100% of what they have with us is doing what it's able to do, not more. If they keep the plan the same, it's going to stay. Now, if they flipped gears and I call it bounce, and they go over to a different agency thinking that's the right way to get results, they'll lose a lot of the hard work that's already been put in, and then they'll start over. That starting line, eventually, with dealers, you know how they bounce, and they do it with you guys. They bounce. They move to a different manufacturer. I am constantly telling the dealers, stop bouncing, stop moving from manufacturer to manufacturer, marketing agency to marketing agency, person to person, based on who has the best steak dinner or who brought you to a ball game or whatever it is. You've got a team of people that are completely committed to your success. Stick to it so you can make some progress. Stick to it. If you want more, bring all the right resources together. Bring your TSM together, bring your marketing agency together, bring your financing guy together, bring all these resources to the table, and let's figure out how to take you to the next step, but please don't quit. Don't bounce. That's called a rocking chair syndrome. Always moving, never going anywhere. They keep going back to the starting line. Make sense? Yes.
What's the timeline like before they start seeing results?
It depends on what they do, and it depends on where they are. So, how many of you are in a more of a rural area? Okay, give me a city, town.
New Bern, NEW space.
What state are you in?
North Carolina.
You're furnace 2. Heat pump?
There's a river. Gas don't go across the river.
Heat pump. Oops. Spell it, N-E-W.
Space
New Bern, NC.
BERN.
Oop. Like that.
Yep.
So for that single phrase, that is, let's say that a dealer started off with a website today and that we created 2 pages of content regarding heat pumps. So you had heat pump installation, heat pump replacement for that particular city. If they were on a local listings program and we had content pumping out to local listings and they were actively getting reviews in New Bern for heat pump installation and doing check-ins saying they did work, even if they fake it till they make it and they go to a lunch and they use an app and they check in and say installing a new heat pump in New Bern, North Carolina, and we get that content, it would take them 5 months to get on page 1 of Google for that search term. Does that help? Okay, and you can do that. So 30 days per 100,000 pages. 30 days per 100,000 pages. So you can, one dealer, the term how long before they get results, it depends. We need to find the right product in the right city or town that we can go after, focus on that, convert a page to a cash machine to get some new business, then do it again, then do it again, then do it again. Our team, I think one of the challenges that we all need to get better at, we have a team of strategists that are account managers. They work with existing customers. I think that we did a much better job last year of getting dealers, bringing them to the table and getting that conversation started with our team. But what we're missing and what I'm working on internally is I want our account managers to be working directly with the TSMs and the dealers they have enrolled in our program so that you guys have reports you can bring back to say, hey, I made this recommendation to start with TI Web Group. We made a recommendation that you should get content for these particular products. Let me show you what's working. You guys, remember, you weren't found. You didn't exist for these particular products or services in this area. Now you guys are showing up on page 1 of Google. That makes you guys an invaluable asset that's dedicated to helping them grow their business. That solidifies your position with them as well. And it gives you something new to talk about. You get to brag. Then we can make recommendations jointly on what they can keep doing so that you keep seeing progress. You see them continue to move forward. Yes, sir.
Just talking about the 140 process. So you talked to them about a little bit, show them the 12-step program, try to find them interested.
Yep.
At that point, we call the 800 number on here and try to set up a webinar type thing.
Good question. So let's go into what's next. So here's your options. Okay, if you have a dealer that has no website, junky website, they know it, they want a new website, and they don't want to spend a bunch of money, or they don't have enough money for content and a website, you can go here, you can show them, say, go look at our branded websites. Our company, we have great Goodman website, a great Amana website, and so forth. Go look at our site. Here's a link. I don't think you should spend a ton of money on a website, You do need content and you do need marketing, but let's get you into a Goodman website so you look professional right out of the gate and so that we can start off with our best foot forward. You guys can sign up right online. The least expensive route is this lease to own button. And you can send your dealers here to this single page. They can see the 2 websites. They can choose from either design. And they can sign up online right here. All they do is put in their contact information here, their address, and a credit card. They will have a new website in 14 days. That's easy as that. When they come in, we will schedule a strategy session with them to talk about what content do we want to focus on. Did you have a conversation with your TSM about some particular products in a particular market you want to be able to make some progress on quickly? And we will make recommendations for content. And obviously, we'd love your feedback because you guys know your area. What do you guys want to focus on? Okay? And then we will also have the conversation about marketing. If you have a dealer that has accrual funds and you need to use them most effectively, click this button that says Get Started and fill out this form. Say, so it says who's filling the form out. Put your information on there so we can contact you. Tell us what they have available. Give us their website address. And we'll go in, do some quick research, and we'll come back with a plan that says this is how I would Jimmy rig that $3,000 to get it to give them the best results. Because everyone's going to be a little bit different. We might make one strategy for this one that's totally different than someone else. If someone comes in with good content, we're like, we could work with that. They just don't have any SEO or reviews. Then we're going to give a different plan to someone else. And finally, the all option at all times is you can always click here and you can set up, or the dealer can set up a strategy call with any of our sales team. They're broken out by East, West, and Central for Canada and US. Just pick one, or Clay is in the entire United States. He's also a speaker and trainer. Pick somebody, schedule a strategy session, go to town. Or you can call the 800 number or send an email to sales@CI Web Group. We try and make it as easy as possible. Is that helpful?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Really low startup cost. Really low compared to MTA.
Yeah, so the majority of the other agencies are going to eat up 50 to 75% of their entire marketing budget on just a website, and they have to do that every other year. And we were one of those agencies until this year. So we fixed it. So it's time consuming and expensive just to build a car from scratch. That's why people buy them off the lots. So we just had to get a little smarter. We want the dealers to be able to make progress quickly. That's the easiest way to do it. Let's not put them in a project that takes 5 months, 3 months, that requires them, quite frankly, they're not going to participate. We know that. And even if it's their best intentions to. Yes, sir.
Is there a set cost for like just a page of content?
$100 a page. They can also buy that right off the internet. Same thing. So if you go over here, order content, SEO content, it's $100 a page. Okay, that's the best place to start is SEO content. It's not copywriting. Copywriting is about double the price. And copywriting is when your website already is listed on page 1, position 1 of Google, you're not going to be buying SEO content. You're going to have a marketing person sitting in your office writing custom content based on your company's feel and tone and knowledge and market and everything else. So for the dealers, what we're trying to do is tell them to bootstrap it. It's the least expensive way to get a page of content that's specifically written for Google. Why? Because you don't have any real people seeing your website yet. So our first goal is let's get your website in front of Google, then improve your content. You can add to it, you can change it, but right now you have no traffic, so it doesn't, having something.
Content is not actually seen by.
It's seen by people, but not if they have no traffic. It's not bad, it's not custom. So it's very Dr. Seuss. We have a mathematical equation. We need to write 500 words of content. We need a keyword density of 1.2%. We need to use that particular variation at least 6 times. That's the problem with SEO content. But It's a mathematical equation that allows us to know if we write it based on that algorithm, we can get that page on Google in 30 days per 100,000 page results. So we know the math, we have to do it a specific way. Once it's on page 1 of Google, customize it, change it, add to it, add pretty pictures. You can do whatever you want to it. But we need to get there quickly. Good questions. Other thoughts and questions?
So you talked about lease to own. What's the difference? I know what the difference is between lease and own, but what's
So
the cost difference between owning it right out and lease to own?
good. So if I go, I'm going to just click on Amana websites. These are if they buy a website. So they would invest for a landing page $500 and pay $50 a month for us to host and maintain it. For a basic site, they would pay $1,500 and pay us $7,500 or $75 a month for us to host and maintain it in the CRM system. The difference is if they choose to host this on GoDaddy or drag it to another friend or family member, they can. So if it's important to them to take this website, have us build it, and then drag it somewhere else, they can. Absolutely. I don't encourage that, but they can. So for someone that knows better, and you're going to see two different dealers. You're going to see, someone that's nervous, and it's going to be important to them to own that website and be able to move it any day they want. And they're going to be the same people that bounce from vendor to vendor to vendor to vendor. And then you're going to have somebody that's like, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want it taken care of. I don't want to mess with it. I am totally down with the $175 a month to know that it's built and it's taken care of and I don't ever have to worry about it again. Two different personalities.
So that's the own page.
This is, they own it. They can move it if they want tomorrow.
And the lease page is 175
That's it.
instead of the 50.
Yep. And no one-time investment. They don't have to pay the $1,500 up front.
The 175 lease to own, is that the 1,500 flat or 75?
These, either of the two middle ones. Two middle ones. Either one of those, which is a full website.
Can any of those, which one in the SEO do you apply to?
Not a landing page. All but a landing page. Landing page, the only thing you can optimize one page for is the company's name, which is why that only works for the one-person shop who's just getting started and is going to a networking event trying to get somebody to remember my name is A1 Heating and Air Conditioning.
And this is an American fund, right?
This is what?
In American funds? American
Yes.
dollars? Yeah.
Yes. US dollars.
What's
I've not.
what's involved in, like, they get a landing page and then want to upgrade to the next one, at some point in the future?
That is an awesome question. So we don't charge them to do any upgrades. The landing page is 100% prepared for being a full website. It doesn't have all those pages pre-created in the structure, but if they wanted to add a single page to a landing page, they can. So they could technically add one page at a time. Other than that, if somebody was buying the content, we would just upgrade them because that's the right thing to do. I can't see us charging them to move them to a different theme.
So if a guy gets started with the basic rate, when it's landing page, 6 months later, he's getting results, they're not going to move up.
He's not going to get results with a landing page. Not at all. A landing page will do nothing for you. So what is Google? A filing cabinet. A landing page is how many pages? So we only have what to put in the filing cabinet? One page, and it can have a label that's only 45 characters long, which is going to be, what's the label going to be? The company name. A landing page, by definition, it's just one. So there's nothing for Google to file, except one.
So in this format, are the web pages generic?
They are. They're all semi-empty. They have your assets in there. They have video and pictures and images inside the pages. They need content. Colors. So right out of the gate, if they don't have a website with existing content on there, it's going to be color. Oh, let's just Kathy. Here's one. So these guys heard me speaking. I did a 2-day dealer workshop through Goodman Business Toolbox. If you haven't signed up for that, you should. In San Diego, the guy signed up at that 2-day workshop, and he went live with his website in 11 days. This is his site. So he had nothing. It's just him. Nothing. He didn't have a phone except his cell phone. Absolutely nothing. Can you tell this is a one-person shop?
No, but if you clicked on another guy's, it would look very similar.
Yes,
Okay, that's right.
absolutely.
So if you had half a dozen guys in one local city, you might get a little.
It depends, because if all of you bought that same site, so first off, we have 2 designs right now. So they can choose from 2 designs, and that's what our job is to make more and more designs. Let me show you those so you can see them. So we have the design you just looked at, which is here, and we also have this design. They can choose from either one. We just launched this last week. So here's another look. Same, all the same structure and so forth. Everything we know works is in here. So it could be one of those 2. We'll have another one come out next month, another one come out next month. So we know that could be an issue. However, if all of you signed up for one, if you have content, you don't, he's going to show up, he's not. If you have content and reviews and local listings and SEO, then you might have 12 dealers in that area, but only one of them is going to rank for now. They get a new website and a new design every 24 months. So at some point, they're going to start changing. At some point, they'll start getting new designs. If you guys send 5 dealers now, it's going to take us 3 months to get them ranked, 5 months to get them ranked, 6 months to get them ranked, depending on where they're at. Over time, they'll have new designs, so the new dealers you bring into the program, they'll be in a new design anyway. That's a good question.
Is there any level of customization with like color schemes or anything?
All of it's customized. So we just had one. I hate these colors. I would never have done this. This is what they want. But this is a dealer out of Vegas. It's a one-person shop. I do not like the colors. This guy, he met with us. He got a quote from us. He did not have the money to do this. This was, in his eyes, this was a make or break. Like, now's the time. So for him, he got a website. He saw me speak on the 14th of December, and his website went live on the 2nd. He's excited. And he's not out a ton of money. It's pea green and yellowish. Some battles you cannot win. Yes.
So for some of our friends in here, what if they wanted to have a website done in French, or what if they wanted to read it, or if they wanted to have...
We have Canada in the room. So we can put Google Translator on any website, and we can translate it all, or they can provide content in another language. So the beauty is, you can sign your dealer up. Before, I think what happened with Canada is we don't have anybody that speaks French on our team. So I think there was a little reservation in setting them up for a strategy call. Oh, Joseph, we do have one.
But the problem was they
He's not in
French. They don't speak French Canadian.
Yes. So now for them, you guys can show them the website. You can help them sign up online. It only takes 2 seconds to do it. And then you just tell us, hey, make sure this has a translation on it, and we can use Google Translator. Google Translator is pretty good. And if they want to change those pages out and have it be content written in their language, their way, they can do that over time, but at least there's an option. So we can have the website start in French, and then if they want to convert it to English, the consumer can change it. Same thing with Spanish, yes.
If I understand, you are dedicated to put another license. If the dealer are on the line, product, will not be on the website. It's only
If they're using your funds, it's not getting on there. So they can have it text on an interior page. They can't put the logo on there. That would be based on Goodman guidelines, Amana guidelines. Now, I will tell you, I had a cool call yesterday. A dealer that sold, I believe it was American Standard and Goodman, called yesterday, and we showed him the website, told him how much it was, and he was like, I don't think the consumer cares if it's American Standard or Goodman. I'll just drop American Standard and go with Goodman. And I was like, no! So cool. That worked. I did not think that would work. So he was gung-ho about that, yes.
and I say you can do e-commerce. You can dedicate the website for e-commerce.
So we have built e-commerce platforms for Goodman, Amana, Franklin, private label, and Daikin. It already has what is your primary products built into it. They can have it function in a wish list, obviously not put prices on there and so forth. That's a bigger conversation to be able to showcase prices and sell equipment online. But they can have the equipment in more of a wish list format, allow people to put things into a cart, have a conversation with the sales guy, and sell something like filters or accessories and so forth quickly. And it's a full-blown e-commerce system with a wish list built into it. Good question. But say that again? That is something you guys have to.
What you just said, they can buy filters, UV lights, different parts or pieces that you want to do. Like Lawrence was talking about yesterday, in order to go to selling equipment online, then you're looking at making sure you're following the map process and everything else that's out there. So that's why Jennifer just said that's a bigger conversation. But
If you have a client that's
put their toe in the water for e-commerce, sell some thermostats, sell some filters, and see how that goes. And then see if you want to go to the next step.
You can, yeah, and just tell them to schedule a strategy session with us. Yep. And there's, if you click on contact in the bottom corner, that's where to send them. Good question, and yes. Catch up on the tail end.
So yes, you can have a shopping cart, you can have them buy stuff. It's just if you're going to sell furnaces and air conditioners, there's a little bit more conversation. Like Lawrence told you, if you really wanted to do it nationwide, you have $1 million to invest. If you've got that, then great. Let's have a conversation and let's start moving forward. But,
let me show you e-commerce real quick so you understand the difference. If I look for air conditioner, let's go to Ontario. That's probably not a good one because it's Canada and California. Your numbers are totally different, which dealers that are more residential, trying to do service-based, like service and installation and maintenance and replacement and so forth, often make this mistake, and it's from hiring a company that doesn't know any better. They will have pages all over their website that say furnaces, air conditioner, heat pump. If the language on your site represents a product and not a service, it's going to put you in a bucket most companies cannot compete with. There's 8 million searches in here. If I change this to furnace, and let's go Houston, there's 14 million pages in that drawer. This is usually the mistake that smaller dealers that are trying to sell services are doing. Their website's filled with products. They cannot compete with the likes of Home Depot, Walmart, and so forth. You're going to have a lot of competition and they're right out of the gate getting stuck next to things that have prices. You don't want to do that. So for someone that does want to get found from an e-commerce standpoint for products, all the math I gave you that you can get on page 1 of Google relatively quickly, that doesn't add up for e-commerce for products because your competition is Amazon and Walmart and Home Depot and not Sears and so forth. Okay, those much bigger competitors. Still doable, but it's a different ballgame in e-commerce world. Good questions. What time am I supposed to stop? Okay. I don't know if I'm in trouble if you were standing because I'm at my minute mark. At what time? 3:15 I was supposed to? Okay, good. All right, what other questions do you guys have? You have a specific dealer you want me to look at and I'll give you advice how to address them? Yeah. Okay. Which one?
All in one services.
Okay, we'll see if that gets us here.
He thinks it's good.
All right. So the title out of the gate is Air Conditioning Repair, North Carolina. The whole website is titled Air Conditioning Repair, Williamton, North Carolina. It's cold there right now, right? So that's first thing out of the gate. Your primary page for your whole website has to get inside a cabinet. So if you're in upper Midwest, if you're in Illinois or Chicago or North Carolina, if it's cold, you need to make sure that your main website goes into a heating and air conditioning installation and repair bucket, not one or the other, because that doesn't help for your homepage. The interior pages need to be specific to one. So I can tell that this is this the right website? Okay. So immediately you're going to be able to tell that the website is either old, outdated, just visually because it's skinny. It's not full width. Websites today are full width websites. They stretch across an entire page. The site is secure. I can tell that because it says HTTPS. It doesn't have a red sticker that says not secure, don't go here. That's good. So I'm going to get rid of, before I jump into anything else, and I'm going to do like I told you guys earlier and put the term site, colon, get rid of everything except site, colon, all in, one AC. How many pages are in his website that Google can see? 54. Absolutely. What am I missing? What do you see on these pages that you don't see on these? Stars, which I know immediately his site is not mobile first compliant. Immediately. Because Google's mobile first requirement, without looking at anything, requires what's called schematic programming and on-site reviews. But all your dealers are getting called by every review company, Review Buzz and Pop Reviews and My Reviews, and they're getting sold on all these systems that have very limited value. They put reviews all over on everybody else's site, and they don't take care of their home. Okay? Now, let's look at titling. So this page is titled Most Common HVAC Issues. That, you guys have a drawer in your kitchen you call a junk drawer? Do you guys have one? Okay, that page goes in straight into a junk drawer with 27.9 million other pages. There's no value. HVAC installation and service. Who uses the term HVAC? Okay, junk drawer. Heating and cooling. Articles. So technically, Wilmington, North Carolina air conditioning repair is actually a good title, but it's at the end. What Google wants is you to front load what it should use to file the page, which if we were using front loaded, we have heating and cooling. Who uses the term cooling? Contractors. The majority of the contractors across the entire United States are not even targeting half of their business online. What are they not targeting?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning, because they're calling it cooling. And consumers don't say, I need some cooling repair. That's not what they say. So they're not going to search. If they don't say it, they don't search for it. It's like my North Carolina, you guys quickly corrected me and said heat pump. Do I have anybody from West Coast in the room? Okay, what do you guys call the thing that creates heat in the house? Furnace. Where are you from originally?
Seattle.
Seattle, interesting. What do you call it?
The thing that creates heat in the house?
Yeah.
I have a geothermal heat pump.
So you guys are all industry
Heater.
nerds. What are people from?
Heater.
If you're from Washington, Oregon, California, Utah, you call it a heater. A furnace is something you see in Freddy Krueger's basement. It has teeth and fire shoots out of its mouth. Okay? So there's a difference between where you come from. If you're in New York, it's going to be a furnace, or it's going to be an oil something or other. Or it's, the gas conversions is a good phrase there. Right? If you're in California, you might be able to get found for earthquake shutoff valves. I didn't know you could shut off earthquakes, but what a cool phrase. So you can learn all this weird stuff. All right, so we'll go back in. HVAC specials. Oh, good thought, poor execution. You have new air conditioner system specials, discounts, promos. You have new furnace discounts, promos. You have high efficiency air conditioner system promos, discount specials, but you don't have HVAC specials. You can, but no real people look for that. Junk drawer. HVAC careers, yeah, that works. But we forgot to say where. So if I grab this and just search here, it's going to have how many pages in the drawer? What kind of a drawer is it? Junk drawer. Good job. So if I go,
Can you add the
look,
location of that?
so let me show you Barron's instead. Let me show you Barron's instead. So if we're looking for HVAC careers in Bellingham, Washington, how many pages in this drawer? Okay, and then we've got Indeed, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and guess what? It's not a junk drawer. Is it making sense, the difference? Little mess ups have the biggest impact. It turns something into nothing, or it keeps it as nothing. Okay, we'll keep going down his site. So far we only have junk drawers. Contact us, what kind of drawer? Financing, what kind of drawer? Okay. If I look for the term financing, what am I going to find without showing you? Houses, cars. I'm going to get a Wikipedia definition because that's just a single word. That's what's going to come up, I guarantee it. Okay, junk drawer. But if I had new air conditioner system financing, new heat pump installation financing, ductless air conditioning system financing in the city I'm in, now you have something that makes you money. Now you have a cash machine page. Page does nothing, page does something. Yes?
So would you have an SEO page for each one of those terms that the title could?
So what you'll notice on here, when we have a promotions page, it's air conditioner promotions, air conditioning system promotions, ductless heating promotions, heat pump promotions, furnace promotions, IQ promotions. We're already gonna have done what we know they need in a $175 template. That sounds bad, but.
So all this works, and last week Aaron got 190 calls on Wednesday, is that?
Oh, that was just 1 hour. I don't know. I don't know what they got for the whole day.
Let's track how many of those convert.
Yes. So on this site, if you go to marketing plans, one of the things you'll see here is we now have, which I forgot to tell you guys, HVAC call tracking system that we have completely integrated into our local listings. They have to sign up for it. It's based on the number of lines. So if you have a dealer that has only got a website and they're doing social media, then they would need 2 lines. If they're doing their website, social media, and local listings, they would need 3 lines. If they're doing their website, social media, local listings, and pay-per-click, they need 4 lines. We can install this. You guys can have access to their calls, which I just listened to one of our dealers. He said, I can see we're getting a ton of calls, but nothing's converting. I don't like spending money if I'm not making it. And I was like, okay, let's go look at your calls. So Mandeep pulled it up. We played the first call. First call out of the gate, the guy said, AC. I was like, well, that was so welcoming. Exactly. I'm so excited to tell them about it. So that helped, which it actually helped us too. We had a 1-hour air client who installed the call tracking system, and we were snooping on their calls to see what was going on. And one of the calls, it was another 1-hour air that said, hey, I had a client that just filled out a form on your website. Do you mind sending them back to me? They thought you were in the same area. And we got to see it. And we got to hear the call and go, send this over there. And we helped them reroute their lines. So it's going to tell you where it came from. So when you pick up the phone, it tells you organic, direct, social media, Facebook, whatever it tagged at. Whatever we did to get the call to ring, because we're tired of them thinking we do nothing, is it's going to tell them where it came from right out of the gate.
But Barron's must track how many convert appointments.
Yes, Barron's set up on a complete ERP system, so they have inventory management, CRM system. I do not know that. I know they're good. They have 211 trucks. So they're not small. They're doing good.
I've known Jan for a long time, so I'm gonna call.
I am so happy about that. He is, when I met him, he was the first time I met somebody where the first question he said was, "What books are you reading?" Tell him I remember that. John's a really good guy. And they get it. His team, they participate, they show up, they don't miss strategy sessions, they have their monthly calls with us. I mean, they do what's necessary. I enjoy working with them. They're perfect. Yes, I won't forget that. Did you pass those out? If you guys have a business card, we need a card. If you don't have one, there's a little form. It says entry form. If you can put all your contact info on there and pretend like your mom's checking your handwriting, please. We need to be able to make sure you guys are in our system and connected to your dealers when they come in. So you guys can have dealers sign up for those call system whether they're in our website or not. So let's say you guys are sit down with the dealer and he's being a little stubborn and he's saying, no, I'm going to do this billboard and these ads and this pay-per-click. Say, well, let's at least go sign up for a call tracking system and let's see how they're performing. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not measuring it. They don't know what's working and what's not. And you can always do that as well. Let me give you guys a quick idea of how to scale their marketing budget. So content, it's one time. The answer as far as when they should add content, always and forever. Always. They should never stop. They can order it right online. When it comes to marketing, this will help you guys understand how a marketing budget should scale over time. They've probably heard what percentage of their gross sales they should be spending on marketing, and I don't think that resonates, nor do they follow that. But they can wrap their arms around this. So if you go into marketing plans, we have this scaled out so they can see what progress looks like. If you start off with step 4, which is local listings, it's $300 a month. That's the top 60 local directories, map listings, and all your AI devices. Then add $300 a month for reviews acquisition. Remember when I showed you Barron's and it had all the cities and it had check-ins and reviews? Let me show you. Remember this? Okay, that was our reviews acquisition and remarketing system, where every time they do a job, they have an app on their phone. That's what they're paying for, is the app. They check in at a job. We get the content. We go build them a new city page and optimize it. Every time they get a review in that city, we put it on that page and we optimize it. Okay, that, getting ADD of the screens here. Let me close some screens down. Okay, that, now they're doing local listings and reviews, acquisitions, and remarketing. Okay, the other thing that includes is if you search for, i.e. a referral, say I get a referral to Barron, I want to make sure that I know who Barron is. In the HVAC world, you guys have a lot of dealers that have the exact same names and it's hard to figure out who's who. So that helps us optimize an individual dealer themselves, and it allows us to start getting those star ratings on all the third-party sites, and it helps us get the star rating on the dealer's website. Okay. In addition, Ferndale, Washington. This right here, that Google Map account will make or break a dealer. Our step number 5, which is what I just showed you, is what addresses this. If I had a dealer in Texas and we got that dealer on page 1 of Google for over 260 key phrases, but his phone never rang. And it was because no matter what we told that dealer about his local listings and his reviews process, reviews acquisition process, he would not get his team to ask for reviews and get them to the right location. He went everywhere but where it's necessary. He got them on Better Business Bureau, he got them on Yelp. I don't care about those things. I only care that you get reviews on your Google business listings, your local directories, and your website. Everything else doesn't matter. I don't care about Better Business Bureau. It does not matter. People know you paid to get in that anyway. That's it. So that independently will generate business for them. And it will also prevent them from getting business. He had 1 review, 1 star in his Google Map, and it hurt him. I have the same issue with CI Web Group. I have 1 dealer that has ever left us a negative review online. And I didn't even know it existed until another guy goes, hey, I saw you had a negative review online. I was like, ah, what? Just 1. But man, I know that hurt us. I know that hurt us. And the hard part for any dealer is you can't argue something you can't see. If they don't have reviews or they have negative reviews, you cannot quantify how much business you didn't get because you never got the chance to address it. You never got the call. It wasn't our situation where a dealer calls up and said, hey, tell me about this. Kind of sounds crazy, but what happened? Most people don't get that. So that's step 5. So this is 4, and this is 4 and 5 combined. Then we add social media. I want your social media accounts to be ripping and running with new content. All of this works together. If we manage your Facebook page, that means we go create mass amounts of graphics. Heating graphics, summer graphics, reminders for tune-ups, reminders for maintenance, seasonal graphics, holiday graphics, promotional graphics. We make mass amounts of graphics for your social media accounts. The beauty is we now have content for all your local directories. Remember when I said that the reason we get all these calls is because we published 158,000 pieces of content? It comes from the work we do for their social media accounts. We use the graphics in 2 places, so that's how we keep the cost low, right? If they start separating out all their vendors and they have all vendors doing different things, there's no collaboration, they're gonna be paying through the teeth. And then finally, you add SEO. Congratulations, this is the fundamentals. The fundamentals of marketing, all the basics moving at the same time are about $1,200 a month. Okay? From there, you can increase what you're getting by moving up. So you continue to increase your SEO plan. Barron's is well over $2,500, but they didn't start there. They eased in, and they keep adding, and they keep adding, and they keep adding. And then for our companies that are full-blown, we take care of everything, those guys are spending anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. This, they can have anything they want. If it's a service we offer, they can use this as much or as little as they want. There's no limits. We don't stop working on SEO because that's where the plan stopped. We keep adding content, we keep doing SEO, we keep growing them. Make sense?
A big company has that much.
I mean, that's less than 0.5% of a $5-10 million company. That's not much money in the grand scheme of things. So if you've got a company that's doing $5 million, they should absolutely look at that.
And you should be able to show them what you generated for revenue, right?
So prior to this year, the only thing I could do is I can show you how much traffic I bring them. I can show you how many calls come to their local directories, but I can't show you how many calls come into their websites unless they're doing pay-per-click because they own their phone number and I can't see it. And I can't tell you any financials because we don't have access to it. So this year, that's why we implemented the call tracking program, is I needed to be able to prove, not only can I show how many lead forms were filled out, how many appointment scheduling, I can tell you scheduling requests, how many calls came on local directories, but this will be the first year that we can actually track all the phone calls to their website and where they came from too, on all sites. Let me give you an idea of, let's I think this is it. Oh. Let me give you an idea to the level of data that we track. These are your babies. These are your dealers. Every year, twice a year, we do major trending data to see where we were over last year. And we present this information to corporate. So we sit down with Ben and David Mastrangelo, and so forth, and we present our data. This is what we did last year, this is what we did this year. So we're looking at how much traffic did we bring them, how many page views, what's their bounce rate, how much was organic traffic versus social media versus referral, what's their average page rank. That means for this particular dealer, for air repair, heating and air conditioning, they are position number 1 is their average page rank. They're on page 1 for almost everything we have. What's their visibility rate? So if it's 90% or above, we've done what we can. If they don't add more content, they're going to get what they get every year unless somebody does more than they've done. Then it's going to feel like they went down. We're maxed out.
That's amazing. I mean, as long as you can justify to the customer, look, you're spending money and it's delivering you this.
Oh,
this
yes.
is all in their hands.
We are good nerds. Not that they listen or watch the reporting, but it's there for the ones who care.
I have to ask you this.
Please do.
Because you have probably experienced it. So if you have a huge dealer,
Yep.
obviously you can't be 100% of their business.
Yep.
But if they're spending a few million on one brand, a few million on another brand, a few million on you, now we put them in touch with you. Do you ever have this way that you're slowly shifting them more to the business side because you don't want to push a carrier, or you know?
So yes, and it's content driven. So what you guys need to do, so A, if you have a very large dealer, book the meeting with me.
Okay.
Me, not our sales team. Have me join and I'll bring in our analyst. I'll bring in the nerds instead of the sales team for a really big account. We will go through and you guys need to come to the table, write a PAP, do something where you pay for the content that's related to Goodman products and services, and we'll optimize for those products and services, and we can heavily weight a website to get found for those things. Over time, I'm going to say it depends. Sometimes dealers will listen to us and will say, collaborate with us, have strategy meetings with your TSM and us, and let's work on this together. Sometimes they're like, oh, on the side, let's figure out how to do a landing page for carrier or whatever. And we try and route them towards, and you guys should too, the main site being heavily weighted by you guys. If you're paying for portions of it or you're paying for the site or the content, we have the ability to do that because now we have to comply with your rules. And then we'll direct them that if you want to use some other company's money, go make a landing page and do some pay-per-click ads with it.
I'll send you something.
Okay, okay. But this is, you know, we can calculate clicks, we can calculate leads. We just can't see the phone calls that come to their business from their website, and this is the first year. We will be able to capture that data next year. By the end of the year, we'll have it, yes.
One last question. Do you use Podium, or anybody use Podium for Google reviews?
Yes, so there are a whole bunch of review sites like Podium. Podium is not a bad site, a bad system. It's different than what we use. So we use an application called Nearby Now, which is the only review acquisition app software that allows a dealer to check in on a job with their app, which gives us search engine free content we can use for their website. So if they don't get the review from the client because they're not there, if the client is grumpy, if they asked them if they liked it and they griped about price or whatever, we still get something from every job a dealer does, and the content is routed to their home base, their website. So what happens in that environment is when we collect the reviews on your website by city, instead of getting a review on Yelp, which might indirectly help you, we're able to create a page of your reviews in a new city and get that page ranked on Google. So getting a review and checking in makes you more money instead of just getting a review. So getting reviews on third-party sites, amen, thumbs up, it's a good thing to do. But I need, when a dealer has limited resources, to focus on the things that are going to make you more money, not help you close what you drive to your website or Yelp. Does that make sense?
I thought Google invested in Podium, that's why I thought it might be mainline into getting more 5-star. Okay.
Nope, not yet. Might change, but not yet. Okay. They're both good though. I want to make them more money. I need them to get more phone calls in a new city. Okay? You guys have awesome questions. Any other questions? You got your answers on the dealer you had me look at. I absolutely appreciate you guys taking time to be with me today. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. With that, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, speaking of which, our sales team is going to call you. Pick up the phone and have a conversation with them. Chit chat. Talk about some dealers. Make friends with them. Get their cell phone. Text them in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter. Just make friends with them because they work for you. So use them. If you're on the way to a dealer and you got a question, call Clay up, call Bev up, call Lisa up and say, hey, on the way to a dealer, check out this site real quick. Give me 5 things I can talk about. They love that. They're down to earth. They're really cool people, and they'll help you with anything that you need. So make sure you return those calls or pick them up. Okay, now I'm done.
All right. We're going to take a 10-minute break to keep everything on time. We've got some snacks and sugar. If you guys need to go outside, we'll do that. And then we'll come back into the next part of the program.
Frank State. This particular, I've got a guy who's been, I'm the general manager for a ring store.
Okay.
So I've got one of those huge customers. I had a new one. They're telling them about my lives.
So,
I'm going to Place got to do first thing. Attraction. Remember we told you before, the more you search for yourself, the less you are showing. What? The more you search for yourself, the less you are showing up.
That's why I think it's Fleece's company.
Okay, so first off, that's BS. I don't know who's saying that, but it's so when you do a search, Google does keep track of your query, and what it does is it shows more of what you searched for. So if you click on a website over and so that site is turned off to Google. Google, no matter what they've done, Google can't see that site at all. That site is set to no index, no follow.
How is that?
Because Google is not indexing anything about that website. Which there's a little button or a chunk of code you can put on a website that says don't index this site on Google, and it tells Google don't come here, we're closed. That's silly.
Okay.
You would do that if you didn't want somebody to come to the site because you were going to upload a new version of the site and you wanted to make sure it didn't break for a day. You wouldn't even do that. You would do that in a dev site. I don't know when you would use that.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's your website?
Yes.
That website I told you to look at?
Yeah.
What is that? That's too much.
We had built around 5K normal. We spend around $100 for it. Yep, that's good. And $1,200, $1,500 for SEO. So they could spend the same amount and have everything done right.
So they can spend about 10 minutes.
That and not have to pay the $5,000 for the website. I mean, it just happens.
So you basically love it. Because he thinks that he's got an awesome. He thinks, I mean, he's my Duncan. He's my Duncan man. He doesn't get it too.
I can rip any website apart, including the ones we do, because there's always something more to do. There's always what's next. You're always missing content. You can always do something better. You always need more reviews, whatever. But that website is old. The technology is old. It's not compliant with mobile search requirements, and they have rules for doing SEO. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you said, look at this. You can pop up. A normal homeowner.
Yeah, and that's like it's like hiring your technician to build your website. Yeah, good job, you guys.
Good job. Are you shut down?
I'm like 9. Oh shoot, hang on a second.